listening to Big Blend Radio Champagne Sunday Show with Nancy and Lisa. And we are going up to Palisade, which is the heart of Colorado's wine country. I know we just left there. Today we're in Florence, Colorado. But Palisade and the entire region of the Grand Valley region is known for its wine and peaches. It even has its own fruit and wine byway. And there's also a thriving art scene. There's public art, a barn quilt trail, galleries, and even an alpaca farm. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to go from farm to yarn, and we're excited to introduce a couple of our new friends that we made in Palisade. The first is Cayenna Hanna. She is the owner of Spun Studio and Yarn Shop in the downtown district of Palisade, and also Mike McDermott of Suncrest-Orchard-Alpacas and Fiberworks. And we met him when we were going around and doing the barn quilt trail. So let's get Cayenna on first. Welcome, Cayenna. How are you?
Hi there. Thanks for letting me talk to you guys today.
Hi.
Hey, it's good to have you on the show. I know, do you have your wine? Because we got to sit outside your store with you and just enjoy the downtown and your store and have wine and chat with you a bit. So are you having wine?
Oh, you guys, you know what? I'm having a beer today.
Oh, well, you go, girl.
Okay.
It's an apricot
dirty
beer,
hippie?
though.
It's an apricot beer.
I'm drinking Dry Dock. It's from Aurora, Colorado. Apricot Blonde. It's one of my latest summer favorites.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Everybody, I want to give Cayenna's website out. It's spunpalisade.com. I want to introduce Mike. We met him, as I was saying, we were following the barn quilt trail, and we found his barn quilt, and then we met him and all his alpacas, and you can go to his website, Suncrest-Orchard-Alpacas.net. So, Mike, how are you doing?
Oh, doing pretty good. Middle of baby watch.
That's
cool.
That's what you said when we met you. He's like, "Oh, come on the show, but we're in baby season." And then you're texting me going, "Okay, babies, I'm trying to get on there. We'll see what happens." But this is the season of baby alpacas, apparently.
They're so cute.
Yeah. We pick and choose our seasons according to basically weather. Early spring and fall is usually when we try to have our babies born around here, because days and nights they're more even in temperature. Because we run the risk of heat stroke and freezing. Otherwise, it takes the Cree about 2 weeks to regulate their body temperature.
How did you get into the world of alpacas?
Oh, that's quite a story. The farm you came out and visited is my family farm. I grew up here, and where my alpacas are at is where I raised horses, pigs, sheep, goats, and milk cows. But my wife is allergic to all of them. She can only touch an alpaca. She goes into anaphylactic shock if she touches any other livestock.
Wow.
So that's why we chose alpacas, because we wanted to teach our boys how to take care of a life before they have to raise one of their own.
Wow.
And that kind of was the goal of it at the beginning.
I read that alpacas are naturally hypoallergenic because there's no lanolin in their hair, fur, what do you call it?
Correct. There's no lanolin in it.
And that's why.
That's part of it, yes. As well as, when people are truly allergic to the wool, it is the lanolin in its raw form. That they're allergic to, because the protein in the hair is the same with wool and alpaca, so it ain't really so much the hair; it's more the itch factor after that part.
Oh, okay.
I also read that their hair is mostly flame retardant and water resistant, which is pretty unusual.
Yes, it floats. That makes it where it's difficult to wash. If you have the choice of a wool sweater or an alpaca sweater out on the river, choose an alpaca because it'll float. Wool will sink. It'll take on the water.
Huh.
But thermically, it keeps you warm or dry, either wet or dry. Both of them.
Wow.
Cool.
That's really cool with you guys being on the Colorado River. If you go make a life jacket out of alpaca, I want to go over to you, Cayenna, because I know you do a lot with dyeing wool, is it wool fiber, so what got you started in the world of, I'm going to say, yarn. So, and what's the difference? Like, let's even talk about the word yarn versus wool. There's fleece, there's fiber. Is it all the same thing or not?
Well, I don't know how to answer that. That was like 4 questions all I wanted.
I know.
No,
yarn.
Kidding.
Okay, let's start with you getting
feels like probably when I'm talking to him. Okay, wool, fleece, yarn. It's I guess I got into doing crafts or sewing and 4-H when I was probably 12. I think it really took off, and I just really enjoyed working with fabrics and fibers, and I learned how to use the tools. My mom helped me, and she found other people that I could learn from through the 4-H program. And so that's where it started. And then through high school and college, I took more classes and learned. And then when I was in college, I got to do my internship with Mike at his fiber mill at his farm. And learned. On the yarn. My daughter's here. I closed the door, but they all came in right when it was my turn to talk. She's got her roller skates on, and she's skating through the spun shop right now while we're talking. Yay. She's 8.
Family business. No, that's awesome.
This is my family business here at right next door to my house, just like Mike works right there at his family farm. So, and so I got to open the yarn shop about 2.5 years ago, and I really love having this store in town, and I've met a lot of great people. There's a lot of talent in our community, lots of creative people. So we have weekly meetups for doing our craft knitting mostly, knitting, crochet, and weaving. Hattie, could you go out, please?
Let me go over to Mike. So Mike, Mike, when we were over, you've got like a mill and everything, and you showed us that, and I know you do tours. But I am like, Nancy and I are going, is it fur, is it hair? And you're like, you do not use the word hair. So it's fleece.
Right.
And then, so where are we on this whole thing of fiber,
I can answer
yarn?
those questions for you.
Awesome.
Okay, now wool itself is only sheep. They only have that category of wool. It's how they classify the fiber. So sheep have wool. All your other fibers out there, cashmere, mohair, angora, muskox, they're all classified as hair. But hair is being negative, so we always refer to it as a fiber or fleece, because no one wants to wear hair.
Yeah. Well,
and yarn is basically, the yarn itself is how we present the fiber in a strand form for you to knit or crochet. So it can be in any form. We've got batting, roving, rug yarn, of course, felted sheets. I mean, we can do a lot of creativity in the sense of with the fiber. It's all depending on how you want to use your imagination and use it. And so we try to help out with the other farms and give them ideas and what they can do with their fiber. Because in a way, we're still in a very tight cottage industry with alpacas. So I put value added to the fiber so the farmers could sell it to help pay for the care of the animals.
Okay. Yeah, because you've got kind of like a hub going on at your place. And then when you look at Cayenna over at Spun, you've got the yarn shop. And so you have you're selling different yarns. Are they all, there's going to be different, different animals that the yarn comes from, right, Cayenna, in your store?
Oh, yeah. I have, I'd like to carry more of Mike's yarn, and we've talked about developing some new yarns that could be unique for different knitting or weaving applications. So we're still working on that. But I like to carry the local yarns that he's produced, and there's a couple other families that are making some really nice yarns for knitting projects and weaving projects. So it's
and
important for me to...
I was going to say, that's the one thing about your store. I mean, when we sat and met with you, we were talking about all these projects. So there's like you're doing classes and gatherings where people are working on projects together. Like things will come in a kit for the actual user. Like, you know, the crafter, I should say, would come in and say, hey, I want to make this.
Well, it's helpful, I think, for people to see a project already made up, or at least a picture of it, and know about how much yarn it's going to take to make a sweater or a hat or some gloves or something like that. So, yeah, recently I've been trying to put together some of those pattern instructions with the types of yarn they'll work best with, and helps people to visualize and then start their project with confidence, and be more excited about making something because they know, they know more of how it's going to turn out, and it'd be easier that way for them. It'd be more fun if it's easier to create something.
Yeah. So I think having pictures really helps, because when you first start knitting or crocheting, until you actually learn what you're doing, things can go way wrong. It's fine. I knitted undershorts once out of wool, and that was a really bad idea.
Oh.
But there was a butterick pattern. I'm talking old days now.
Yeah.
And that my grandmother had, and so I just bought regular yarn and I knitted undershorts, and it was really seriously funny, and I don't know who would wear them.
Oh.
Especially if you use wool. No.
People are making, it's kind of a fun trend, the cloth diapers. My kids are much older now, they don't wear diapers, but when they were babies, and I think people are still doing it now, making wool diaper covers for their cloth diapers.
Oh, wow.
And so there's some really cute designs for using this wool, because it wicks the moisture away from their body.
Yeah.
Or from the diaper, and they're just cute.
Oh, that's good for women of a certain age, too. Not necessarily diapers, but like if just knowing about the wicking away for women in their clothing choice, when you get to that certain age and things get a little hot.
Yeah.
Mike, aren't you glad you're on this show?
Well, we deal with all of that stuff here.
Yeah.
Well,
the difference when you look at wool, though, wool will hold on to the fluid, where after it wicks it away from your body, but it holds on to it. Alpaca sheds it out. When we look at the other fibers out there, cashmere, Angora, they don't have that strong affinity to really pull it like wool and alpaca does, and it slowly breaks down the fiber too.
Well, I know when I washed the undershorts that I knitted, they got 10 sizes longer.
Oh.
Well, this is something I also want to touch on, especially Cayenna, because I know you're doing these groups and there's a teaching part of it. I've learned that, the fiber art is something that I think when you hear the word art, you always think of paintings or sculpture, but textile art, it's an ancient craft. It is an ancient art. You think about Navajo weaving, and there's just so many different forms of it. But at the same time, I've also seen it used as therapy. I know, sometimes if someone's going through addiction counseling, that they are like, instead of grabbing a drink or whatever you're going to do, start knitting. Have you seen that at all in your teaching, that people need to have that? It's kind of like an extra thing to keep you occupied instead of doing something you shouldn't. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that. Well, I think I've talked about it with smoking before, with a few folks, just like trying to quit smoking. And you get used to having that hand to mouth, repetition, that tactile thing. So if you just substitute it for the knitting, having that fiber and the needle or the tools in your hands to create something instead of doing your smoking habit, I think it has helped some people quit smoking.
Cool.
And so, do you help people with your classes? Can you be a complete beginner, or do you have to be at the art
that's
person.
what I love to teach the beginning classes, and then I refer them on to some of the other instructors that are here at the shop for the more advanced classes and project classes. Yeah, I love to do beginner classes with kids and adults and get them going with nice fibers and good tools. We're doing a class next week, or two weeks, with some beginners for kids. I'm going to co-teach it with one of the high school students that I've been working with this past school year. She's an excellent crocheter. She makes great things, and we're going to be doing that at the Confluence Studio. It's in Grand Junction. I don't know about that when you were here last week, but it's
I love that you're doing these classes. Yeah, getting everyone together. It's kind of like a nice group and a gathering. And I know you did a lot on Zoom, which is, during the whole pandemic shut-in thing, it's like, hey, we can still do things and unite, which is great. But I also want to go to Mike's, because when it comes to education, do you take kids and you take people through, like what you did with us, and teach them about, how the fleece is here and this is how we mill it, and teach them about the alpacas themselves?
Yes, with our tour that we started 17 years ago, I wanted to educate people about basically what the purpose of a livestock animal is and why I chose alpacas. And then go through some life skills that the animal teaches you, especially the young kids, in the sense of simple little things we don't think about. And then from there, we bring you into the mill and we show you how the progression of the raw fiber into a product, which really doesn't exist too much here in the States now.
Yeah, I've read that the alpaca is also used as a therapy animal for some people.
Yes, the alpaca in its natural behavior, they're like cats. They like to be around you, but they don't like to be touched, and they pick up your energy really fast. So if you're very high-strung or insecure, animal can sense that and pick it up fast. And I've had people up here, one gal that we dealt with, that her son brought her up here. She's been wanting to have her mom see his children. They're 10 years old and they never seen her because of her anxiety. And he found out about the alpaca farm, and within 3 months working with the animals here, she was able to go see her grandkids for the first time.
Wow.
Which was really a cool story.
That's neat.
That is
really cool. Wow.
They're kind of even-tempered, and they're kind of let it shine kind of animals. They're like...
For a livestock animal, it's probably the safest animal I've ever worked with. I don't feel... I could let a 5-year-old outside in the paddock with the animals and not worry about injury because of the behavior of that animal. They'll come up and see what the individual's about, but they'll back off as soon as a kid wants to reach out and hug it. Which no other livestock would do that.
Yeah.
Wow. And you take tours through your orchard, right? As well, like trek. You do like a little alpaca trekking trip?
Yeah, we do a little quarter-mile trek with the animals, so we can get you up close with the animals, and they're on a leash like a dog, and we have fun as we walk down through the orchard. And it's fun to watch the 5- and 6-year-old kids actually develop confidence in the animal, where they can walk the animal with no trouble and tell mom, says, I've got control of it now. That's fun to watch and see. And I've even got some parents, too, that have had issues with animals that overcome that as we're walking. It's fun.
Yeah, it is.
But one thing with the yarn aspect, one research is showing that it's when you're knitting or crocheting, you're actually using both sides of your brain. It's one of the few activities that you do that with. And some of the research is showing that Alzheimer's and Parkinson's can be delayed or even prevented by knitting and crocheting.
Wow. Get those needles out, people.
Wow, because it puts you in a zone. I think, but isn't that the thing, like you've got meditation and you try to meditate and everything, you start thinking about your build, and oh, I want this coffee down the street or whatever it is, goes through your head. And so maybe you guys have to like start crocheting or knitting when you're doing that, so then you're using both sides and then you can have that zone. I don't know. I always think that when you're doing any kind of crafting or art or music, as a musician, I'm in a zone and none of that stuff comes into my head. So, and that's kind of interesting with what you do, Cayenna, with the classes. Do you see that zone happening where people kind of just are so absorbed that they're at peace, really?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think that comes with practice. Definitely. I just like to add one of the things I really like about knitting and weaving too is all the math involved in making the patterns up. There's just so many numbers to crunch for the number of stitches, the number of yarns to put in for a pattern, and then how big just calculating the inches that your piece is going to be and measuring your body and the piece if you want it to be fitting a certain way. I mean, there's just a lot of math aspects, and I always liked math in school, and so it was fun to apply those math problems to my work in designing in projects and calculating the yardage.
Are you using graph paper to do it? Like, because I was going back to some of the design stuff I've done in the past where you're using like actual graph paper, and this is where your algebra might help you, everyone. Back when you didn't like it in school. But this is cool that you're teaching kids too, like for the youth to get involved and learn how to do math in a fun way, like music teaches math too. I think that's so cool.
Safely, I can say you are the first person on our show after 10, 12 years of radio that says they like math.
Oh,
come on.
Toast to you. A toast to you.
I know. I thought that's my champagne toast. Yeah. Math.
Seriously.
All right.
But cool. But how do you do this? Is it graph paper that you use, or how do you do the design? Because to me, I want to be all artsy.
Kind of a simple diagram picture of how I want the piece to come out, and then a lot of it's just multiplication problem. Like I know how many stitches per inch the yarn is creating for a certain knit pattern. Then I measure my head for a hat. And then I calculate the number of inches around my head times the number of stitches per inch, and that.
Wait, somebody get more champagne for this.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, but this is great. But this is great because I
went way wrong on the undershorts.
Well, no, because I think a lot of times you'll see fiber art as someone purchasing fiber art, right? Who doesn't understand the process behind. There's this whole other process, and that's what I'm so excited about the two of you being on the show.
Well,
here's the animal part, farm to yarn. Yeah.
Props to Mike because he does major math problems with his machinery and trying to create the type of yarns that he makes, and the hat designs that he does on the machinery are incredible. You could talk about that, Mike. But I do think it's cool what you do.
Heck, she's on radio. She knows how to run a radio show now too. Check it out. You go, girl. Go, Mike.
I don't want to.
The one area that I have trouble with that Cayenna has mastered is color variations and how to match the colors for her projects. She's got an eye for that I noticed right away when she was working for me way back when she was in college. That was really that's a skill set, and I've been trying for years, and I will never master as well as she has. She's got that down really pretty.
I read that the alpacas themselves come in. This is really weird because I'm getting this off the internet, so bear with me.
She's geeking out on alpaca now.
Because they're so cute. They come in 22 natural colors, from white to light gray to dark fawn, and then there's shades of all those in between.
Correct. And we've actually decreased the number to 16. We're blending colors together now. They're just slight variances of colors.
You said blend.
Yeah. So some of the fawns are 3 different fawns, 3 different browns, 6 different grays, 3 different blacks, and whites There are about 4 or 5 whites. So it's when we look at a white animal, it's a production animal, and the other ones are more of our hobby because a white I can make any color I want.
Oh. So you wouldn't take like a dark fawn and play with that for color. You'd go to the white.
That white would be easier. The dark fawn, when you blend it, and this again, Cayenna's got this a little better than I do in the sense of dyeing. But my experience with dyeing a darker brown or a medium fawn like that, you end up with an uglier brown. You don't get the rich colors out of it.
It just mutes the color. It's just a muted color, not a pure bright color like you get with the whites. But in some cases, we want those muted colors to come through, and it's fun to get variations on those.
That's where the art comes in.
But
I wanted to ask
darker gets harder to do the colors.
Because if you look at it being hair, I know you don't like the word hair, Mike, but if you look at its hair, like when we go to a salon and we get our hair dyed, I've never done it, but now I want to. I'm going to go to Cayenna and see if she'll dye my hair, if it will be the same as if you
get
an alpaca.
Dye your hair blue.
Well, Kool-Aid works very well at dyeing.
Oh yeah, I'll do it just for the heck of it. But when you're into dyeing colors, and I thought it was really interesting talking about like the colors, how you just looked even at the mountain and you're like these pieces of how you're reflecting nature, just some of your inspirations. Where do you start out? I mean, you're talking, okay, this alpaca, you could get that as a fiber and it's brown, or it's this and that. Do you prefer starting with, would you dye it white or use with what you have?
Can you dye something white?
No.
I think you can bleach stuff sometimes.
Yeah, you have to bleach
I start with a white or a natural color mostly. I have used the light fawn yarns, but yeah, it depends on, like, if I'm going to do something blue, I wouldn't use a brown, starting with that light fawn color, because the brown and blue make just a muddy color.
Yeah.
But if I'm going for like a rust, copper, an orange red color, I like to do that fawn is actually really great as a base, because the orange
part of the
goes
color
with
base.
that.
Yeah.
It's just nice to have that little bit of color already in there, because it deepens that orange and red that I'm trying to get. Those colors I have to use more dye. I have to use the brown to get to that deep color if I start with the white yarn. So, yeah, I like to use, I think I've even dyed black fiber. We did some roving the last time I did a workshop at Mike's farm. I had some black roving from another local farm of wool yarn or wool fiber. And we did a green and a purple, and it was just real faint. I mean, it still looks black, but there's still like a little shadow of
that
green.
Shine.
And yeah, it just added a little bit to that roving that we haven't spun it up yet. It's still sitting here in my stash pile, but I think it's going to work out neat, because it's deeper in some areas, and
she made Billie Eilish hair.
What's that?
I was like, she made Billie Eilish hair. Like how she has that little tinge, that little shimmer. Anyway, I'm just, I mean, that's cool. Do you look at people's hair and want to do stuff to it? Color-wise?
I don't know. No, I was kind of interested in learning, like going to cosmetology school in high school, I guess, and doing hair, being a hairstylist. But no, I don't know. I think it'd be fun, but I don't color my hair. I've done it a couple times, a long time ago, but I guess I just like working with the yarn and fiber and
it's neat
to create other projects. It's kind of like painting with the dyes. When you use water and dilute the powders, and there's a heating process that the wool, all the animal protein fibers have to go through. You have to heat them up, and so it's a little bit messy. It's kind of dangerous, I guess, if you got the electricity going in the hot hot plates going in the pots of water, but it is fun to see those different colors go on the fiber. The fiber takes them at different times. So each fiber that's worked with between wool and alpaca silk, they take on the dye at different times. So it's just every batch is like a new experience to see how it's going to be created, and it's just so exciting to see how the batch comes out when I do.
That's cool. It's so cool. I mean,
I think it's cool. So I'm just wondering.
But no,
since
I want to play with color.
Okay, but since alpacas are in the camel family, do you think you could make yarn from camel hair for fiber?
Yes.
Or,
we've made yarn out of camel, llama, alpaca, cashmere, mohair, angora. I've also made yarn out of wolf, Bichon Frise, Irish setter. I can no
Irish
longer.
setter.
Yeah.
Let me call Prince Charles. He'll want some.
Well, what about human hair? Like, you remember we've seen
human
these things
hair?
where they do. Yeah, they do these little design. There's like back in the
like
homesteading days, there's these
knitting or whatever. Yeah.
They do these human hair displays. Like it's all like crocheted hair, and I think it was back in the days when they
big
were
necklaces.
running at a shortage. Like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called, but they're.
But when we look at a human hair, it's almost 5 times larger in diameter than alpaca. So it's going to be a coarser. It'll also have the itch factor, and you wouldn't wear it. The problem with dog hair is you can't get rid of the odor of a wet dog. Even though we wash the fiber for 3 hours, it's still going to smell like a wet dog in the yarn after it gets wet.
Oh, weird.
I haven't been able to eliminate that wet dog smell.
Huh.
So you got to really love that animal if you want yarn out of it.
Oh my gosh. Well, the human hair thing is weird to me. Like, it's just like, but I've seen really cool art with it, like really cool art. So I want to know, like, would it last if you did human hair art? Would the dye last? And does that
no
happen?
Different than
like,
the proteins and everything is the same. My brother is he does hair in the other side of the state, and that's the only thing we really have in common. As I do animal hair, he does people hair. And we talk back and forth about all different things. And he's made wigs for people and such for individuals out of hair that's been cut off other people and such. And dreadlocks he's done with them to give them different hairstyles and that. But you can do all of that with human hair just as well as the rest of it.
Hey, so dreadlocks, you're never going to get rid of that smell either.
But,
no.
The fact that camels, as far as we know right now, came from North America 45 million years ago, do you think that maybe the alpaca could have come from North America at some point?
No. The alpaca itself is a man-made animal.
No. Okay.
Oh.
1,000 years ago, the Incas crossed the llama with the vicuna to hybridize the breed of alpaca. For the purpose of meat and fiber. The vicuna has one of the finest fibers out there, but it takes them 5 years to grow enough fiber to harvest. And it's a very wiry and high-strung animal, and most of the time they're euthanized in order to harvest that fiber.
Oh.
But with the alpaca, it took on the personality of the llama that was a domestic animal. It became a very domestic animal to work with, and just like when I first got into it, they were referring to the animal as a South American sheep.
Oh,
Because that altitude up there where they're at, sheep and cattle cannot live at that altitude. They basically can't breathe. It's a death zone, basically.
Wow.
So, interesting.
This is interesting. Animals become part of our need of fiber,
Yeah, they start importing them back in 1984 into the United States. And by 97, they stop importing them.
Okay. So I wanted to go over to Cayenna on this because it's interesting when you think about all these fibers and they're all animal. What do vegans do for fiber? Do you ever get vegan fiber?
That's a good question. I don't know. If
I was wondering because
vegan knitters in our group.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do? What do you do if you're a vegan? And is it going to be plastic or poly whatever?
You don't have to kill the animal to get
harvest the fiber.
Harvest their fiber. I don't know if that matters to some people or not. It doesn't hurt them to. It's
a lot of
good
vegans
will get sheared each year.
Yeah, no, the euthanization of the animal doesn't require when we're harvesting the fiber.
Okay.
So it's renewable in that sense as well.
Yeah,
because they grow it every year.
Crop.
Yeah, so as long as the animal's treated responsibly, and that's the thing I think where the vegans will go. This is very interesting because I know like vegan also is about being health conscious, and so the alpaca fiber being hypoallergenic is really cool too. But I do have to get to both of you on this. It's time for your champagne toast. So Cayenna, what are you toasting to? What are you happy about?
Well,
I know it's a strange time, right? But
I'd like to toast to my family. I have a wonderful family. My parents are awesome, and my brother and sister and my brother-in-law, they're all listening on, I think, today, but I just love them so much. And in my family, my husband, my kids, they've all helped me to create this business, and I couldn't have done it without them. So I toast to my family.
Awesome. We met a few of them, and they're super happy, and it just seems like you've got like a little corner of quality of life going on there, and I love it. I loved our time with you, and just sitting, under the tree and just chilling out, and kids are playing, and that's a happy, positive atmosphere, and there's art going on, and and Palisade has a lot of art going on. I think you're in a community where the art is starting to really blossom, wouldn't you say, with Palisade, with the public art and then the galleries and things like that?
Oh, yeah.
So
there's a lot of networking with the arts in town. It's good.
Awesome.
I'm happy how it's working out in Palisade.
And the greater Grand Valley, too. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, Mike, what are you toasting to today, or who?
I'm good. Basically, health, family, and the people that helped champion me to become the man I am.
Nice. That's a good one. Very nice. Very nice. Well, toast to you both. We're so glad we got time to meet you. And Mike, it was one of those surprise visits that were like, oh, there's an open sign. We're like, somebody's open. So we're really excited to come and meet you, and I'm so glad we took, we got lost on the Barn Quilt Trail. We get lost everywhere. We're known for it.
It's
but
actually
the Barn
our
Quilt
hobby.
Trail, listen, the Barn Quilt Trail is very cool. If you go to Palisade.com, everyone, you can see it digitally in their brochure. But when you go to Palisade, get this little booklet, and you follow the map around. You go to wineries, orchards, alpaca farms like Mike's, and I love the Barn Quilt. I love it, the Barn Quilt Trail. I think it gets people to understand farms. So I know you have a lot of wineries that are exceptional out there, but I think it's great that people get to know where food and now fiber comes from. It's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank
it's very
you.
cool. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Again, keep up with Cayenna on her website, Spun-Palisade.com. And you got a newsletter, right? So people that want to do classes, that's the best thing for them to keep up with you?
Yeah, I send that newsletter out once a week there with all the specials and our weekly classes and get-togethers.
Cool.
So it's the best way to keep in touch. Yep.
Awesome. And they both sell online. So we're all at home, so start shopping digitally if you haven't already. Suncrest-Orchard-Alpacas.net is for Mike's website. So thank you again for joining us. We hope to see you when we come back to the area again. And we want a class.
Please do come back.
Next time we're coming for classes with both of you. We need.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, I want to.
Knit, or you do want to
my
weave?
Hair.
Oh, you want to dye your hair?
Weave. I don't know. I want to dye
and
weave.
I I did my hair in some braids a couple summers ago. I added some yarn, and it looked like dreadlocks. They almost really turned into a messy mess.
I need yarn in my hair. It's thinning out, man.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's. I want to learn color and dyeing, you know, and that whole process. And I want to see the mill in production when we come back, Mike. I want to see how that whole thing goes because it was interesting seeing how much you got on that strand. But I hear you're going to go. Are you going to go to the baby alpaca? Is that happening?
Yeah, I'm going to go back and see how she's doing.
Oh,
and hopefully here by 3 she'll be delivering it.
Oh, wow. Well, toast to the baby alpaca coming out. Toast to the world.
Oh,
right.
I want a picture.
That is so cool.
I know.
We want pictures. We want pictures for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both. And go ahead.
On our Facebook page is where my wife puts all the pictures.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
When they're born.
Awesome.
So.
Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome.
Cool.
Well, follow that. So your Facebook page is Suncrest-Orchard, right? Alpacas.
Suncrest-Orchard-Alpacas. Yes.
Cool.
Okay. And then, Cayenna, you're on Instagram, right?
Yep. Spun Palisade.
Okay. On Instagram. So keep up with them, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you when we get back there at some point.
All right. Thanks,
Sounds
Nancy.
great.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Lisa.
Thank you, guys.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Go take care of that baby.
Bye-bye.